Phoebe, welcome to the Backlog quest. Today I'm talking about one of the books I picked for my TBR pile using the Disney Princess tag, and my tag option was Snow White, a book featuring one of the 7 deadly sins. The book chosen is Treasure Island by Robert Stevenson, and greed was the main sin I chose to fill my tag. My other reason for reading this book is for research purposes for the pirate story that I'm writing at the moment. I chose to read only older fiction books and non-fiction since I don't want to be influenced by modern fiction when it comes to pirate stories. Older stories have a different tone to modern stories, and I don't want to end up replicating someone else's modern story as I'm writing my own. Treasure Island is a book that I'm very familiar with in other mediums, even though I haven't actually read the book before, despite having multiple copies available in my home. I've always had a fascination with pirates. My favourite computer game series is the Monkey Island series, which revolves around pirates. When the anime One Piece came out, it was my favourite of the big 3 at the time because it had pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean is a favourite movie of mine, and I've just always thought pirates and pirate stories were fun. I've loved Treasure Island and other versions, with Muppets Treasure Island being my favourite of the different versions of Treasure Island. Going by how thin the book Treasure Island is, you'd think it'd be a book that'd be able to easily knock over in a couple of days. Nope, this book took me forever to read. And I think it took me forever because it's in Old English. I had to take this book slowly, only reading a chapter at a time, and I found myself some days wishing that I'd just hurry up and get to the end of the chapter because I'd get a headache from trying to make sense of everything. I enjoy this story, I really do, but it was just so hard to read. It took me months to get to the start to the end, even though there are only a few pages long each chapter. And I was going, how in the world does it take me so long to read something so small? These chapters are so small, but it was so hard. I need to read more classics just to see if it was the age of the book that I was struggling with or if it was actually the author's style that I was finding hard to read. I like the overall story. I like the adventure of going out to sea and ending up on an island and being betrayed by pirates. Silver's character was easily my favourite character in the books. All the characters are written so well that I found all the characters interesting. It's like even the characters that were only in there for a short while, it was the style of the book itself that I struggled with and how things were described. Some of the chapters I had to go back and reread because at one point I didn't know if Ben was alive or dead because of how the passage read. And I had to check to make sure I hadn't missed something earlier. It turned out he was alive, but I really thought he was dead for a while. I was trying to work out when in the world did he die? Why? I don't remember him dying, but he wasn't dead, so. I'm glad I finished this book, and I plan to read Kidnapped, which is by the same author. And while he's written other books other than Treasure Island and Kidnapped, I believe they're the only 2 that I actually own, so I will not be seeking out any of his other works. And if I do read his other works, it's because I own books and I don't know about it, which is very possible because I have a lot. This book was a struggle, and I doubt I'll read it again, and I really wish that I enjoyed it more than I did because I enjoy Treasure Island so much in other mediums. Next week's book is a Christian book called Red Moon Rising, the story of 24/7 prayer by Peter Grigg and David Roberts. This is another book added to my completed pile in my quest to reduce my backlog of unread books. Thank you for joining me.